What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our Real Madrid Champions League preview here on Anfield Agenda. Believe it or not, I'm sitting here recording this just after I finished all the matchday content from the Aston Villa game because that's how close this game is. It is an 8 p.m. kickoff on Tuesday evening and we will be live here on the channel from 6:45 p.m. to take you through. If you haven't joined us for a preview before, this is what you can expect. I'm going to give you the best as I can an injury update with where we are. We'll talk about Real Madrid's recent performances and our head-to-head history with them. Then we'll go through and give you my preferred 11, which is what I'm calling it now, and I'll finish up with a score prediction. We'd love to know your thoughts, so feel free to let us know in the comment section if you enjoyed this video, and I sincerely hope you do. Don't forget to hit that like button, and of course, if you haven't subscribed, would love you to do that as well. Look, lots to admire and like about this fixture coming up. After the victory against Aston Villa, you hope it carries a wave of positivity into the game. Trent will be coming back to Anfield for the first time as a non-Liverpool player. It'll be interesting to see how he performs and, of course, how he is received by the crowd. But most importantly, it's about us trying to get the result right. If you're asking me out of the next two games what I'm expecting to happen, take a draw against Real Madrid if it meant to win against Manchester City. You want to win all three, of course, and we've already done the first part. But I do think the league should be the focus more than the Champions League at this minute because we've got more wiggle room in the Champions League. So with my team, you might not agree with it, but it is my best attempt at it. So let's get stuck into the video. Right, we're going to start off with the injury situation. We don't really know where we're at, as I say here, with Alexander Isak and Curtis Jones, because when you see them training, well then of course they will be close to return to action. Alisson Becker, we can expect to see him back after the November international break, which is coming up at the end of this week. And after that, it's Jeremy Frimpong, who we know is out for about 6 weeks, and Giovanni Leone, who will most likely miss the remainder of this season. So that's where we're at with injuries, and thankfully it doesn't look like we picked up any new ones against Aston Villa. So with that in mind, let's start to have a little look at Real Madrid's recent form against us, and of course the recent form in general. So, head-to-heads, Champions League last year, I'm sure you need no reminding. It was Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 0. Champions League 22-23, it was Real Madrid 1, Liverpool 0, and Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 5. That result still really stings, by the way, because the lads were over at the game. They went 2-0 up, and then, of course, shipped 5, so one to forget. Real Madrid's recent form, as you can see, is nothing but one W after another there. It was Real Madrid 4, Valencia 0. In La Liga, then Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 1 in El Clasico, and I watched that and it was a very impressive performance by both Real Madrid and Jude Bellingham. In the Champions League, then it was Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0. In La Liga, Getafe 0, Real Madrid 1 in a Madrid derby. Not the Madrid derby, but a Madrid derby. And then in the La Liga as well, it was Real Madrid 3, Villarreal 1. So as you can see, they're coming into this game in absolutely flying form and full of confidence. So I'm expecting a rousing night on Tuesday, but a difficult game of football, let's be honest. Anytime you play Madrid, it's going to be tough. So let's get stuck into my preferred 11 now, which is what I've called it, because I could sit here and tell you what Arne is most likely going to do, but I want to tell you how I feel and what I think should be happening for the game on Tuesday. So we will start off, as we always like to do, with the goalkeeper and the centre-backs. So we know it's going to be Georgie Marmadashvili in goal because Alisson isn't ready yet. And I think you got to keep the same centre-back pairing. Joe Gomez didn't exactly inspire any confidence when he came on midweek and played in the League Cup, but he was playing with a much changed team. Canade and Virgil much better against Aston Villa, and hopefully they can carry that aggression and that, well, aerial superiority into this game. We know Madrid aren't going to come and play with a low block. We know they aren't going to just pump long balls forward to a big centre forward. So hopefully, like Villa, it's a style of game that suits us. So for me, Marmadashvili in goal and Canade and Virgil in the defensive centre-back positions. Right, let's look at the fullbacks now. So I'm going to say it's going to be Milos Kerkez. Now, again, you can make a very valid argument for Andy Robertson, but it's about priorities for me. Robbo has played a lot of football, played midweek in the League Cup, played against Aston Villa, and then to expect him to play both at Manchester City and against Real Madrid, it would be a big ask. Now, of course, there is an international break coming up, so maybe the manager does it. But I think Kerkez is going to be the one for this one. And maybe Robbo coming off the bench later if needs be. On the other side, I think you got to keep rolling the dice with Conor Bradley. Yes, we do only have one fit right back at the minute, but he's young. he should be able to play lots of games in quick succession, so let's keep going with Conor Bradley. If anybody says Robertson on the left, I totally get it. And if you're going on form, absolutely deserves it. I just am trying to get that balance right between mixing it up with a massive game coming up at the Etihad. So that's the back five. Mamardashvili, Bradley, Kanade, Virgil and Kirkes into midfield. I'd make one change from the team that started against Aston Villa in midfield, and that is bringing in Florian Wirtz for Alexis McAllister for a couple of reasons. One, I do think, again, rest Maka, who's kind of been playing catch-up and had a lot of mixed performances this season, but looked very good against Aston Villa. So I would be saving him again for Manchester City, and I would also use him as a substitution in this game if Gravenberch needs a bit of a breather, because of course he's coming back from some injury time and don't want to overplay him either. So getting that balance right is difficult. So Szoboszlai, Ryan Gravenberch and Florian Wirtz would be my midfield for this one. I think playing Wirtz in this game versus Manchester City, to me it makes more sense, because I think it might be a style of game that suits him a little bit more, and of course he probably want to get one over on his former manager Xabi Alonso as well. So my midfield, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and Wirtz. Now we go into the attacking third of the pitch. You're going to see something here that won't happen, but I think should happen, and I'm going to take you through it now. So wide positions. Salah on the right, of course, and congratulations to Mo again for hitting 250 goals in a Liverpool shirt. He has moved up the all-time goals and assist scoring chart as well to be level with Frank Lampard in the Premier League history. I think Salah on the right, and I think Chiesa deserves a shot on the left, because Cody cannot play every single game. We all want Chiesa to get an opportunity. This feels like a good chance to give him that. Real Madrid, it could suit him. And I just think, why not? We don't want to run Cody into the ground and then have no option on the left that the manager feels comfortable with. Now, I say all of this, and I'd be absolutely amazed if the manager does play him on the left. But like I said, this is my preferred 11, and I would put Federico Chiesa on the left-hand side and Salah on the right. And then through the middle, I'm assuming that Isak won't be ready to start yet, nor do I think the manager should risk him just yet. So I'm going to go for Hugo Ekitike through the middle, and then maybe Gakpo comes off the bench to take up either of those roles. Maybe you shift Chiesa centrally if Ekitike needs a rest, and they move Cody Gakpo out to the left, or vice versa. So that is my 11, ladies and gentlemen. To run through it again: Mamardashvili in goal, Bradley at right back, Kirkes at left back with Kanade and Van Dijk in the centre back positions, midfield of Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and Wirtz, and then Salah on the right, Chiesa on the left and Hugo Ekitike through the middle. Now, all that remains for me to do is give you a score prediction, and I'm trying to be realistic here. Of course, we can beat Real Madrid, but it's going to be a different beast to the Real Madrid we played last year. So I'm going to say that it's going to be a good game, a competitive game, and I'm going to end up with a 2-2 scoreline. So that is my prediction for this one. And then, of course, carry momentum through to a huge game at the Etihad on Sunday. A huge, huge game. If we can win there, wow, that really will restore some confidence. So that is this Anfield Agenda preview for the Real Madrid game. It is over to you guys now to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you agree and disagree with. And again, appreciate all of your support. It really does mean the world to us. Take care. We'll catch up soon. Bye-bye.